One more job shouldn't have mattered. I'd killed nobles before. You could float a whaling ship on the high-born blood I've spilled. Another noble steps in to replace the last one. All equally corrupt. Why should an empress be different? But she was. I watched her bodyguard's face as they took him away. Dead eyes. I knew I'd pay for this one. Maybe I deserved to. A storm was coming that would shake apart everything I'd built.
No! Get away from her! Corvo! Mommy!
Hey! And welcome to the first Dishonored story DLC, The Knife of Dunwall. We play as Master Assassin Dowd. I really like the DLC. The level design is top notch and the challenge is appropriately increased from the main game. Unfortunately, some of that great level design is clearly designed for you to use all of your abilities, and I'm gonna have to slip from some of my principles in this gimmick a couple of times.
It's been a long while.
Certainly more than the main game.
My interest again. How the years pass and the bodies fall. Did you know that there are only 8 like you in the world, bearing my mark? I'm here because you're right. The Empress was different. This time, you can't just fade away into the shadows. There will be consequences. Your story is close to ending, and even you can't escape it. But what ending will you make for yourself? I'm here to give you one last gift, Dowd. It's a mystery. One that starts with a name. Delilah.
For 6 months, the city writhed and changed. For 6 months, I tried to forget what I'd done to the Empress and her little girl. But there was no forgetting. I needed to find my next move. But all I had was that name. Delilah. Who was she? A threat? Or an ally? Word came from my second-in-command, Billy Lurk. In a house built on secrets, Lurk was especially good at uncovering them. There was a ship called the Delilah that hunted whales for Bundry Rothwild, a former deckhand who'd made good. Now he owned a slaughterhouse, and he ran his workers like a prison gang. A ship named Delilah. It could be a coincidence, but it's not. In Dunwall, things are always tangled up like a bag of snakes.
I keep harping on about how elements of this game remind me of Thief. The DLC mission intros are definitely among those elements. I love it.
Dowd, you're here. I got bored, so I started without you. Turns out we're here on the perfect day. There's a strike at the plant, and it's no wonder. Rothwild runs this place like a prison. The stupid workers can't even get in without a time card. When the strike started, the butchers confiscated all the cards they could find. They've given the City Watch free rein to use force. If you ever wondered why I wanted out of the slums, here's your answer. There'll be other ways in, I'm sure of it. You don't mind if I tag along, right? Just to keep an old man safe. One last thing. I found something for you. I know you collect these. I'll be on the rooftops till you need me.
And this first bit here is a good example of the increased difficulty in the DLC.
You have to give me back.
There are walkways quite high with guards walking on them. and initially there are very few places where you can hide and observe safely without the people above you noticing you.
Orders are to confiscate those cards, no exceptions.
Going inside is, of course, always an option, but it's always dangerous. You never know what you can run up to around a corner. So they really force you out of your comfort zone here. Which I like, but it does make for some problems when you don't use blink. This bit is slightly up to chance. The exact timing with the guy on the first walkway and the second one varies, but usually you can go just as soon as the first guy turns his back. And now the rest of this section is mostly just about platforming, including this next very neat jump. You can't make the way directly onto the balcony, so you need to go
deemed vital to state interest
via the windowsill.
treasonous by the Lord Regent.
You've had your fun, Butcher. When does the oil start to flow again?
It's all fixed, Chief. We got their time cards rounded up, and now we got their melting leader.
So you know the Regent doesn't give a shit who wins your little labor dispute. The Regent cares about the whale oil coming out on schedule.
He'll get what he needs. Just keep the strikers in line.
And here's a good example of what we got used to in the main game. A high spot to observe from, safely, with nobody watching.
Bad. Could the city get any worse?
Indeed, I believe so.
The DLC in general, though, it includes those spots, it paces them out. There's way fewer safe spots to hang out at than in the main game. Right now we're waiting for these two butchers and the one city watch guard to give us an opening so we can move to the right to pull a lever which opens a way into the slaughterhouse. One of several, but this one includes the least amount of backtracking and is thus much nicer to play and to show. The level takes place just after the main game mission Dishonored, so Corvo has just escaped Coldridge. You can hear some of the enemies talking about it. The DLC in general includes references to main game events, so it's quite easy to place all of the DLC missions on the same timeline with the main game. There's our window. That opens the way in, and he politely turns away so we can get in. Now we just need to bait these rats closer a bit so we can run over them. And we're in!
Rothwild's got a stubborn reputation. I doubt asking nicely is going to work. We'll have to find a more persuasive means of getting what you want out of him. He's probably close to his office. We should start there.
Cool. And you. the worker there.
Signed right away. Mr. Rothwell.
He'll get killed unless we make noise here, but we're not in the business of making noise for this playthrough, so sorry, worker guy. We need to get up here, and you need to get up quite high. There are several ways, but you either require a very low percentage, basically save scum grenade jump with a whale oil canister, or something called the elevator glitch,
Ramsey?
or Blake,
No, this is
which
about
we
the
use,
workers. This
because
is about fair pay and safe
I'm about
conditions.
reliability and
Don't bother.
not
You're not the
glitching.
first of
I don't want to
calls.
break the game.
What happened, Abigail? I trusted you. Extra elixir rations, bags of coin as bonuses. But you're about to see that my generosity is counterbalanced by a very inhumane side.
Mr. Rothwild, Bundry.
Don't call me that. That privilege is lost to you.
You don't know Ramsey. When he comes for me, he'll kill you. He'll gut you like the street filth you are, and feed you to the rats.
Now it comes out. No one is coming. I've broken your strike, and my butchers are the finest fighters in Dunwall. Miss Ames, you're about to find out a few things I learned when I was a gaffer. I can do things that don't even hurt at first. This conversation is going to last a long, long time.
So we're gonna have to interrogate Bundry,
That might be worth checking out.
but we want to minimize contact with Abigail, because we want to minimize contact with everyone. So we're gonna lure Bundry over and then knock him out. Otherwise we'd be forced into a conversation with Miss Ames there, and that's just not nice.
Dowd,
Oops.
I spotted a makeshift interrogation room in the meat locker. It might be useful to you, considering our mission here.
Incidentally, the Ramsey they were talking about is apparently in the Boyle Mansion level. He's wearing a whale mask and talking to Miss White,
I'll make sure
A
you
woman.
get to enjoy this.
who you can talk to figure out the colors of the Boyle women's dresses, but who we didn't talk to because we wanted to actually sneak in the mission.
What do you want to know that's worth crossing a man like me?
I want to know about a ship named Delilah. What's behind the name?
Choke on your own spit.
Who is Delilah?
Ha! Think I'll give up a friend at the first tickle? That's the kind of thing I pay your sister for down at the Golden Cat.
We'll feed you through your own factory. See if we can get oil out of your blubber.
I'm not a fan of Rothwild's voice actor.
Work, I'll give you that. We can talk this out, like businessmen.
Why did you name it Delilah?
What do you care? And it wasn't me. The previous owner named it after some sweetheart as a painting. Piss off!
This next line just seems
Who was the previous owner?
Barrister Timps! All right?
disjointed.
He told me the story. Delilah was a woman he knew. Grew up working in Dunwall Tower. Got kicked out. Became a painter. Funny airs, like proud. She caught his eye, but it was worse than that. He couldn't think of anything else, just her. She wormed into his mind somehow. He built that ship for her, and a lot more. Gave her half his fortune. Then he got scared. Came to me afraid. Man, that, I'm afraid. He wanted to dump the ship, and I needed a business partner, so we made a deal. Meant to change the name. Wish I'd done it.
I hope that was satisfying. Here's the room key, when you're ready to go. Sir, earlier I spotted crates bound for the most remote corner of the Empire. Might be worth stuffing him in one, just to tie things off. He doesn't seem the type to forgive, of course. Why go through all the trouble, when a blade to the neck would accomplish the same thing?
We're gonna take him to the crate because I don't want to get his blood all over me, and also because leaving a corpse here or a conscious Rothwild would not be neat.
Get treated fairly because they can get fired for refusing to do dangerous work.
What? What dangerous work? We're the ones that do the dirty stuff around here. Maybe we need to be organizing, huh?
Hey, that's not funny. You say that again, even as a joke, and you're whale meat.
Yeah, sure. I'm just saying.
Stop listening in on that Abigail Ames tricky talk. She'll corrupt you.
No. My head's clear. I know which side my bread's buttered on. I'll be glad when we get the order to get rid of her. It's only a matter of time.
The box we're taking Rothwild to appears to be initially meant for Abigail, according to some reading material you can find in the level. And here's another annoying spot. You can't get up to the box with Bundry without Blink. In fact, you can't get up here without Blink, without going outside and climbing a chain, neither of which you can do with a body. You can glitch Bundry's body into the wall and then go outside, and then you can reach him from up here, but again, that's glitching. It doesn't sit well with me. So we're gonna have to use Blink there. A second time in the same level.
You still on break, or what?
Trying to figure out a way to do this according to the whole thing of this playthrough basically almost made me give up with the DLC.
Attention. Under plague conditions, failure to report for work at industries deemed vital
But there are enough
has been declared treasonous by the
cool
Lord
things and different perspectives you gain on the level, and I think it's worth it, even though we need to break our principles several times. Like here. Billy has got herself captured, and we're gonna have to deal with the Overseers. I really don't want to touch them or influence them in any way, but we're gonna have to. And the least amount of influencing we can do is by baiting them out.
Stop messing around and come out at once. Present yourself. Don't make me find you.
This music box guy is quite slow. It's a bit of a shame. He should be running after his mates. Anyway, Billy's saved, and we get to run up these pipes again.
Thank you. Let's go. I'm worried they sent for the hounds.
And we're on the home stretch here. There's a couple of more overseers, and we also need to get up back to where we started. You might have noticed I have my crosshair on. That's for this bit. I needed to line up this jump.
Should we gather for whiskey and cigars tonight? Indeed, I believe so.
There. And there, and jump. That's very finicky. And here, again, blink is required. That's 3 times in one level, which I'm quite disappointed by.
And now Rothwild's snug in a box.
But the alternatives were basically abusing quick saves or glitching, which
pretty well. From what I hear,
I'm also not fine with.
The family is practically at war with itself. Talk to his niece Tali if you can. I should probably tag along when you go. Crazy rich people are buying up a lot of that Sokolov security technology these days. Keeps the weepers and looters out. I might be useful.
Luckily, the next level is
Let's go.
much nicer for the gimmick. And I'll see you with that on Wednesday.